The Velkari research vessel hung in silence above Earth's moon, its crystalline hull refracting starlight into prismatic waves. Inside the sterile white laboratory, Dr. Zekthor's three eyes widened in disbelief as he stared at the holographic display floating before him. "This is impossible," he whispered, his translator chip converting his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. Kinsley Morgan sat strapped to the medical chair, her brown hair matted with sweat, chest heaving as she struggled against the effects of the neurotoxin coursing through her veins. Beside her, Caden Rivera remained unconscious, his darker complexion now pale and clammy under the alien medical lights. They had been abducted 3 hours ago, pulled from their camping trip in the Colorado Rockies by a tractor beam that defied everything they understood about physics. Now they were lab specimens, test subjects for the Velkari Empire's latest xenobiological research initiative. Zekthor had administered a carefully calculated dose of Thandorian poison, a substance that had proven 100% lethal to every carbon-based life form in the known galaxy. The humans should have been dead within minutes. Their cellular structures should have collapsed. Their neural pathways should have dissolved into organic soup. Instead, Kinsley was still breathing. Her vital signs were erratic but stabilizing. And Caden, unconscious though he was, showed a heartbeat growing stronger with each passing moment. "Run the blood analysis again," Zekthor ordered his assistant, Prilna. "There must be an error in the scanner." Prilna's tentacles danced across the control interface. "Sir, I've run it 4 times. The results are consistent." The holographic display zoomed in on Kinsley's blood sample at the cellular level. Zekthor watched as her white blood cells swarmed the poison molecules like an army responding to invasion. But that wasn't the impossible part. Every species had immune responses. What defied all known xenobiology were the antibodies. They were complex protein structures that couldn't exist, because Kinsley had never been exposed to Thandorian poison before. Antibodies required previous exposure, a learned immune response built over time or inherited through evolutionary pressure. These humans had never left their planet. Thandorian poison was synthesized in labs 3,000 light-years away. Yet here they were, perfectly tailored antibodies attacking the poison with ruthless efficiency. "How long until the female regains full consciousness?" Zekthor asked. "Her neural activity suggests 10 minutes, perhaps less." Zekthor's skin shifted through a spectrum of colors, his species equivalent of anxious pacing. In his 70 years of xenobiological research, he had never encountered anything like this. The humans were adapting in real time to a threat they had no business surviving. He pulled up Caden's blood work. The same impossible antibodies, the same aggressive immune response. But there was something else. Caden's cells showed evidence of previous trauma, old scars at the genetic level. Radiation exposure, perhaps? Chemical burns? The human body bore the marks of survival like medals of honor. "Sir, the male is waking up," Prilna announced. Caden's eyes fluttered open. For a moment, confusion clouded his features, then memory crashed back. He jerked against his restraints, eyes wild with panic and rage. "Where's Kinsley?" he gasped. "What did you do to her?" "I'm here." Kinsley's voice came out hoarse but steady. She had regained consciousness without Zekthor noticing. "I'm okay, Caden. We're both okay." "You shouldn't be," Zekthor said, approaching them with careful steps. "You should be dead. Your species, your biology. It makes no sense." Kinsley's green eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made the veteran researcher uncomfortable. "Let me guess. You poisoned us expecting us to die. And now you're confused because we didn't?" "The Thandorian neurotoxin is universally lethal," Zekthor explained. "No species survives it, not the Korvathi with their redundant organ systems, not the crystalline Shekra who can restructure their molecular bonds. No one." "Well, congratulations," Caden said bitterly. You've discovered that humans are stubborn even at the cellular level. Zekthor pulled up the comparative analysis, projecting it where both humans could see. Your blood developed antibodies to a poison that doesn't exist in your biosphere. Antibodies that require previous exposure or evolutionary adaptation. How? Kinsley and Caden exchanged glances. Then Kinsley laughed, a sound so unexpected in the sterile laboratory that it made Prilna jump. You really don't understand, do you? She said. You've studied our planet from orbit, taken your tissue samples, analyzed our atmosphere, but you never bothered to learn our history. Explain, Zekthor demanded. Caden picked up where Kinsley left off. Earth is a death world. Everything there is trying to kill us, has been for millions of years. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins, radiation, ice ages, volcanic eruptions, you name it, we've survived it. Our immune systems don't just respond to threats, Kinsley continued. They anticipate them. They recognize patterns at the molecular level. Your poison? It's similar enough to neurotoxins produced by cone snails, pufferfish, certain spiders and plants on Earth. Our bodies recognized the basic structure and improvised. Zekthor's 3 eyes blinked in rapid succession. Improvised? Cellular structures don't improvise. Human ones do, Kinsley said quietly. We're the descendants of survivors. Every plague, every famine, every extinction event. Something in our lineage made it through. Our DNA is a library of survival strategies written in chemical code. The researcher pulled up Earth's biological database, scrolling through the catalog of diseases, toxins, and environmental hazards that humans had endured. The list seemed endless. Smallpox, plague, Spanish flu, radiation from the sun, heavy metals in the water, parasites that could burrow through skin, bacteria that could survive boiling water. And humans had not only survived, they had thrived. This is madness, Zekthor whispered. Your planet is a crucible. Yeah, Caden said, and we're what came out of it. Prilna approached the console nervously. Sir, the Council will want to know about this. The implications for military bioweapons alone. No. Zekthor's voice carried an authority that made his assistant freeze. No, we will not be weaponizing this, and we certainly won't be making enemies of these humans. He approached Kinsley and Caden, his colors shifting to apologetic blues and greens. I have made a grave error in judgment. I treated you as primitive specimens. I see now that humanity's lack of interstellar technology does not reflect the sophistication of your biological engineering. We're not engineered, Kinsley corrected. We're evolved. There's a difference. A distinction that makes your species even more remarkable. Zekthor began releasing their restraints. I will return you to your planet with our apologies and a warning to the Velkari Empire. Earth and her children are to be left alone. As the restraints clicked open, Caden rubbed his wrists. That's it? You're just letting us go? Zekthor's colors rippled with something that might have been fear. If your species can develop antibodies to our most lethal poisons, having never encountered them before, I shudder to imagine what you would do to us if we made you our enemies. Kinsley stood, slightly unsteady, but recovering quickly. Smart alien. As Zekthor prepared to return them to Earth, he couldn't shake the image of those antibodies, proteins that shouldn't exist, fighting a battle they shouldn't have been equipped for, winning through sheer adaptive resilience. Humanity, he realized, was not just another species. They were survivors on a level the galaxy had never seen, and perhaps one day they would be something much more, something the universe itself would have to reckon with.